Hey, what's up? This is Brian Kuzma with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. Don't have my normal peer camera up, live camera of the LBTS beach that I normally do. This is Hillsborough Inlet, and just right up the road from me. And if you look right down here, this is kind of, you see my little hand waving around right here. This is where I'm at right now, reporting live, but this is actually the live camera for Hillsborough Inlet, which is where I take my boat out often. And if you ever see my little fishing pictures when I talk about going fishing, this is the inlet that I take my boat out here to go fishing at. Caught my dolphin. Look at my hand right here. Caught my dolphin. See the lighthouse right here? Out past this area in the ocean here this weekend, the one that I showed you the picture of. And another little tidbit here that not many people know, if you live in Lauderdale by the Sea, you see this lighthouse right here that keeps flashing? That is actually a crystal lens in there. Glass lens that's ground down, or crystal or something like that. One of the few remaining crystal or glass lens lighthouses in the entire country. And it's right in our area here in Broward County. I think that's pretty cool. And if you ever get a chance, the Coast Guard gives tours of this lighthouse. And this little inlet area is absolutely gorgeous. If you live here, I highly recommend that you take a day, do the tour up the lighthouse, and go swimming and check out this area. And if you become a really good customer of mine, maybe I'll take you out fishing with me. Anyways, let's move along to spot prices. I'm going to keep the report really short tonight because there's no reason to go long-winded. We're kind of like in purgatory, waiting for election results, waiting to see what the economy is going to do, which we kind of all know what's going to do. It's going to take a shit next year, no matter who gets in office. But let me not go there at this moment and talk about what the prices are. Looks like New York spot closed around 1861, a little bit lower than what yesterday was. I called yesterday to kind of be, well, actually, now that I remember, I didn't call yesterday's prices. I kind of forgot to. However, I have been calling for, and I would have called yesterday for about par value, slightly higher, in which case I would have been wrong by about $10. Markets are down a little bit higher in New York by about $10 or so. 1861 being the closing gold, 24 in silver, about a half a buck off from yesterday's prices, but not too far off. I mean, you know, when I say that I think it's par value, you know, give or take 10 or 20 bucks in gold, give or take 50 cents or a dollar in silver because it's such a crazy market. And platinum seemed to hold its own. Take a look at this. Gold down, silver down, but platinum up $1.50. Hooray for platinum. Love that metal. Underpriced as far as I'm concerned. Still one of the best deals out there next to silver. However, as far as security and as far as the metal that's leading all these markets, it's gold. You can never go wrong with buying gold. I think your upside in silver and platinum might be higher, though. That's just my opinion. Let's take a look at world spot prices. Where have they closed? Slightly higher than New York closes, and on gold, silver slightly higher. But silver, for being such an erratic metal of late, and actually for the last 6 months, has kind of like really calmed down. And I find that a little bit odd. Silver's calmed down at this $23 and $24 level. I'm not quite sure what to make of it, but as soon as I can kind of develop a thought around it, I'll let you know. But no less, I still think silver is super cheap. I think platinum's super cheap. And I think gold is still cheap. However, I think the bigger gains are to be made on silver and platinum. That's just my opinion. Again, make your own. Don't follow mine. Use what I teach you or what I show you to make your own opinion. Let's move along to, I want to keep this report real short tonight. I can't help but bring up politics and all this because I think that this election has really a huge impact on future markets, on how markets are run, and a lot of other things, whether it's up or on the downside. But you know what? In second thought, really, the elections don't have a, boy, I just contradicted myself. The elections don't have a big effect on the long-term results of things because I don't believe that presidents, politicians really have a long-term effect on markets. Central banks and bankers and billionaires and people that control the corporate world have a bigger influence on everything, in my opinion, more than politicians. So in the short run, I think the election and the election results and politicians may have, or actually do have, impact on gold and silver markets, as well as Wall Street, as well as cryptos, as well as everything. But in the long term, I don't think so. I think that the bankers run the world, and basically what they're doing is they're just trying to, the printing presses are rolling. They're just like in the end stages of life. They'll try to produce as much as they can and save as much as their assets as they possibly can and cover their own asses. Meanwhile, letting the rest of the world to hang. So this is the reason why you want to own gold, silver, and precious metals. You don't want to own fiat currencies. I kind of digressed a little bit into bankers and such, but meanwhile, I saw this video. I am not a Republican nor a Democrat. It's hard for me to kind of take sides, but gosh, the more I'm looking at Giuliani, sorry, I keep mispronouncing his name, and Trump and his claims of election fraud, geez, the more it's starting to look very credible. What does this do to markets? I don't know. Let me say that no matter whether you believe that there is election fraud or whether you believe there is not, it has a huge impact on markets. It has a huge impact on the trust of the American public. And the trust of the American public has a lot to do with where we put our money. If you don't trust the government, you don't want your money in dollars. If you don't trust Wall Street, you don't want your money in Wall Street. And if you feel that the media, Wall Street, and the government is working against you, like many Republicans are starting to feel, and again, I'm not a Republican, but this is half the country is starting to feel that things are crooked, then they're going to divest. They're going to take their money out of the market. They're going to not hire people. They're going to start closing down their markets. They're going to start closing down their businesses. They're going to go galt. And look up the term GALT, galt, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It means that the productive people out there that think that they're being screwed by government, by Wall Street, by markets, by the media, are just going to close up, retire, and say, screw it, I'm done. I'm going to stop hiring people. I'm going to lay off all the people that work for me. And again, this is half the country that feels like this. So this cannot be good if they feel that the election was stolen from them. So the best thing that can be done at this point is that the government and Democrats and Republicans that are honest really take a look, regardless of which candidate wins, and take a look at this potential fraud and say, we need to fix this because our republic cannot continue like this, with the assumption by one side or another that there were fraudulent elections. And again, I think that's what we're looking at. I think we're looking at a complete distrust of the system, and that the elections were fraudulent. If the election is overturned into Biden's name, or if Biden wins, people are going to think the election is fraudulent. If Trump wins at this point, people are going to think the election is fraudulent. And the problem is that both sides, Republican, Democrats, people that are on both sides of this issue, are going to have to take a look and say, if we don't do the right thing at this point, the republic is screwed. So I don't care what side you're on. I think at this point you need to save the republic by doing the right thing. That's just my opinion. And I'm going to move along from here. God, I went political again. Sorry about that. Peter Schiff. Love Peter Schiff. Love his articles. We sold our monetary souls to the devil. And stocks continue to surge upward thanks to optimism about the coronavirus. Of course, stocks have been on a bull run ever since the big March drop at the beginning of the pandemic. This led Peter Schiff to ask a poignant question during his podcast. If COVID-19 didn't hurt the stock market, why should a vaccine help? Well, anyways, I encourage you to do a Google search for Zero Hedge under Peter Schiff. We've sold our monetary souls to the devil. Good article, worthwhile reading. And I'd read it to you, but you know what? I'm done reading stuff for you. It's about time you read your own stuff. Oh gosh, I didn't mean to sound really like a jerk about that. I do apologize. But You know, if there's one thing I'm all about, I want to teach you how to read for your. I don't want to like pick articles and pick little things out articles to read for you. I want you to read this for yourself. If you think I'm completely off base, please make comments below that you think I'm off base. If you think I'm right, make a comment below. But I'm not here to steer your thinking. I'm here to show you how to think for yourself as far as what precious metals will do and how to be a better buyer and seller of precious metals. Anyways. That brings my next comment, which I'm going to do a video here pretty soon talking about cryptocurrencies. People think that I may be a little bit harsh on cryptocurrencies. I'm not. I think that it's the future of the dollar. However, I do not believe that cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and other currencies are going to be viable in the long term. I think as soon as they threaten the fiat dollar, that they'll be made illegal, because there's one thing that I know is that governments and central banks and bankers do not like competition, and if they make the rules, they will make sure that their competition, Bitcoin, will not survive, that their own version of digital currencies will survive. So in my opinions, I think that digital currencies, which are really fiat currencies, Bitcoin is no different than the US dollar. They're backed by nothing except, well, Bitcoin says that, or Bitcoin has a limited amount available, but what is it backed by? By all definitions, it is a fiat currency. It's backed by nothing. It's backed by zeros and ones. It's digitally backed by what? Nothing. It's not backed by gold. It's not backed by real estate. It's not backed by anything. It's just backed by, actually, if you think about it, it's backed by the other fiat currency, the US dollar. So in essence, I'm going to do a video pretty soon absolutely proving and showing that Bitcoin is nothing more than a digital fiat currency, not unlike the dollar. The only difference between the two, one exists online, one exists physically. You can actually hold this thing in your hand, which is the only good thing about it. Because remember, in my opinion, the one thing bad about digital currencies is that it requires electricity and it requires an internet connection. That's my opinion. Anyway, I'll kind of delve into that a little bit later. This is Brian Kuzma with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in Lauderdale by the Sea. We're open 10 to 4 Mondays through Fridays. Call us anytime at 954-493-8811 for updates on precious metals, prices, what the best deals are. You can even call me up and if I get a little bit of time, debate with me about cryptocurrencies. Anyways, listen, regardless, I really thank you for watching. I really mean this. I do this every day. I put effort into this. So the fact that you folks are watching and listening to this, it means really a lot to me. And I promise you one thing. Even though I may not always be right about things, I do my damnedest to look out for you and do my best for you. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like my videos and hit the like button or the subscribe button and that little bell up there. It shows me that you're watching. And that's it. Let you know what happens tomorrow, and looking forward to talking tomorrow. Have a great evening and good night. What a day. What a long, long day. Man, I'm tired. Ready for my wine.